Hope you guys are ready for more Yarn Hub. Let's find out how a tin can sunk a ship.
It's June the 20th, 1942, in the beleaguered city of Tobruk, Libya. Job Maseko and a fellow soldier of the 2nd South African Infantry Division hurry back to the field hospital carrying yet another wounded soldier on a stretcher. Whistles of incoming bombs terrorize the city, and shocks of exploding ordnance reverberate through the rubble-filled streets. The fighting is intense in the edge of the city. Infantry and tanks clash amongst a rain of artillery. The Allies are fighting tooth and nail to keep out the Germans, but it's not successful. The Germans keep pushing the Allied lines back, capturing their ammunition depots and forcing them out of their bunkers. Complete chaos. Most of the defences have already fallen, and fighting takes over the city streets. Between it all, Maseko and his partner face an impossible choice. With a number of wounded rising by the minute, they have to decide who to take to the hospital and who to leave behind.
Oh man.
With almost no time to think, they get a soldier that they believe has good odds to survive, put him on the stretcher, and then run back for the field hospital as the bomb decimates the building just one block over.
Oh.
Nightfall ends the hostilities for the day, bringing an odd respite for the battered soldiers. Maseko is about to go to sleep when their superior summons his unit. He's shocked when they are given rifles and told he must join the battle on the front the following day. Maseko has no firearms training, but he resolves to do his best. In the end, it wasn't to be. The next morning, his commanding officer surrendered the city, believing it wasn't worth the human cost to defend. Job Maseko is taken prisoner before he ever got to fire a shot. 33,000 men were captured by the German forces on that day. The Germans separated their prisoners by race. While white troops were sent to camps in Europe, prisoners of colour were kept in POW camps in Africa and forced to work under horrific conditions. The Germans were unprepared for such quantities and had to hastily put together a camp to house them all. The camp was made on the outskirts of Tobruk, out of simple tents surrounded by barbed wire fencing. As a prisoner, Maseko and his fellows endure appalling treatment. They're malnourished, being fed just 2 dry crackers and a bowl of weevil-infested porridge every day.
That's not how they want extra protein.
They are beaten regularly and made to perform never-ending hard labor. If they refuse to work, either for principles or for exhaustion, they are tortured or even executed. But Maseko isn't about to tolerate such treatment. With indignation burning in his heart, he decides he'll take the fight back to his oppressors. He doesn't know how, but he will. One night he joins a small band of escapees. The haphazard construction of camp has left it full of holes, and the overstretched guards can't keep a good hold on the prisoners, so escapes in search of food are relatively common. But the prisoners can't make a run for it, as they don't know where the Allied lines are, and they aren't prepared to take on the brutal desert of North Africa. So escaping altogether was out of the question. Instead, they loot the destroyed buildings, searching for some half-decent food or anything else that's useful. A group of men are exiting one of the many ruined homes when Maseko spots a cartridge on the ground. Curious, he takes it and pulls a bullet out, revealing a bundle of cordite.
What the fuck is cordite?
In that moment, he gets an idea.
Can you explain what cordite is?
Before the war, he used to work at a mining company. He wasn't a miner, but he got to be around explosives and picked up a thing or two.
Oh, cordite is
Applying this knowledge, he realizes that he needs something like a resealable tin can, which is conveniently a popular way to store foods in the army. With this idea burning in his mind, he says goodbye to his fellows and sets off to the edges of Tobruk, where the fiercest fighting took place. Scouring the streets, it doesn't take him long before he finds his can discarded on the side of the road. Then, he spends the rest of the night searching for unfired cartridges. He finds many around corners and behind sandbags, some simply discarded on the floor, others still stuck to their abandoned clips. He keeps going until the sun threatens to rise over the horizon, and he's forced to return to camp. The can is far from full, but he isn't about to be deterred. He escapes every single following night, searching the streets while operating with barely any sleep at all. But it does bear fruit. After days of tireless work and emptying more than 1,000 individual cartridges, Miseko has his bomb. And that's not all. During his search, he's also sourced matches from a destroyed corner store and 2 long strands of fuse in abandoned Allied emplacements. He's exceedingly happy. It's almost too perfect. But he understands that sourcing the materials was the easy part. Now he has to use it. For the next week he ponders. He considers detonating an ammunition storage, but realizes one is too small to make a difference. His next thought is a supply truck, but also dismisses the idea, reasoning that the trucks have mostly food, and if he was to destroy it, the first ones to starve would be the prisoners. And so the bomb sat, hidden away in a ruined building near the camp, wasting away without a target. That is, until his captors gave him one on a silver platter. The 19th of July, he and a bunch of his fellow prisoners are rounded up and escorted out of the camp without explanation. They are brought to the Brook docks and ordered to unload a German freighter. Miseko is quietly ecstatic. This is perfect. He doesn't have the device on him, but he doesn't miss a chance to scout. The group are made to unload crates of weapons and ammunition one by one. The watchful guards keep eyes on them the whole time. Miseko doesn't like it. It's beginning to look impossible to plant the device unseen. They finish the unloading and are swiftly ordered to load up again with new cargo. While leaving the crates inside the hold, he realizes he isn't being watched anymore. The guards are all outside. Only a single one stands idly by. Now this is more like it. Next time, it's his chance. He carries the bomb in his army haversack, which the guards have allowed him to keep. His heart is racing, but he acts natural, and by some miracle, the guards completely ignore his bag the entire way to the docks. They arrive, and a bunch of petrol drums and jerry cans sitting on the dock immediately catch Job's eye. Was that the cargo for today? He really hoped so. They get to work, and he nonchalantly leaves his bag on board. He's sweating bullets the whole day, just waiting for a guard to discover it, but no call ever comes. The work continues throughout the afternoon, and loading begins. To his relief, the petrol is brought on board. As the day comes to an end, he approaches 2 friends, saying that he needs them to distract the guards. Confused, they ask him what he's going to do. Miseko leans in and lays it out clearly. He's going to burn the ship. Agreeing with the plan, the 2 men approach the single guard on board and make small talk while Miseko helps load the lost cargo. His fellow prisoners leave him alone in the hold, and he quickly sets to work. He retrieves the bomb and the fuse, sticks the fuse in the can, and plants it between the drums of gasoline. Then he takes a handful of straw from the vegetable crates, covers the can with it, and to top it off, he douses the whole thing in gasoline with one of the jerry cans. Looking over his shoulder, his friends are standing right between him and the guard. Perfect. He gets a fuse as close to the hatch as he can, and sets it alight. Miseko casually closes the hatch behind him, and the guards were none the wiser. He calmly joins everyone else as the officers round up the men and herd them back to camp.
Oh, it's gonna be floaty.
Miseko waits expectant, prepared to hear the explosion behind him at any moment, but nothing happens.
Just wait a bit.
They arrive back at the camp, and Miseko is devastated. He stands on a corner of the camp, staring blankly in the direction of the docks, wondering where everything went wrong. But then, a boom snaps him from his thoughts. He stares in disbelief as a column of black smoke rises into the evening sky. The plan had worked.
It's like the scene from Batman.
The next morning, the prisoners are interrogated. but none of them are suspected of sabotage. Instead, they're questioned about smoking in the ship. The prisoners, of course, hadn't, and the cause of the explosion remained a mystery for the Germans. The ship sunk in the dock with all its cargo, but perhaps most importantly, it was being used to ferry cargo back and forth between Tobruk and bigger freighters that were too large for the docks. Its destruction permanently slowed the movement of goods through the port city for the duration of the German occupation. One more logistical headache for the Afrika Korps to deal with, all thanks to one man and a tin can. Job Maseko wouldn't be done either. Days later, during one of his now routine escapes, he managed to repair a radio, which he used to learn about the Battle of Al Alamein. Confident that he could get that far, he and a couple of prisoners gathered all the food and water they could and escaped by foot.
Oh no. Is he gonna end well?
They would successfully reach Allied lines 20 days later.
Oh good.
Back in the army, he was reassigned as a stretcher bearer and continued to serve throughout the war. He received proper firearms training and took up arms in battle several times. Surviving the war, he would be given the military medal for his brave actions in sinking the freighter. But sadly, none of the commendations would translate to a better life after the war. He returned to his hometown in South Africa with a miserable pension to thank him for his service,
No, give him more money.
receiving only 40% of the pension of the white soldiers. Job Maseko would live in poverty, working as a local policeman, and tragically, he passed away in 1952 in an accident at a train station, aged just 30 years old.
Gary deserved better. Our bell on the ground. I'll see you next time. Later.